The West already threatened China many times regarding the support on Russia in Ukraine war. Why the powerful West worrying, if not scare of China involvement, is the worrying misplace. China government repeatedly announced of her neutrality stance in Ukraine war and even tried to position herself as peace broker between the conflicting countries. With that stance, China won't send any military equipment or troops to conflicting party. However, why the West still constantly threaten China, and even apply sanctions to several China companies that perform normal trade with Russia. The problem lies in downward relationship between the United States and China. The relationship between these countries always in constant changes from friendly during World War II to bitter enemy in Korean War and warming again during China opening up under paramount leader Deng Xiaoping and start to frozen again since President Barack Obama. There are so many differences between the US and China, especially the authoritarian method of ruling, economic development model, and US believe China aspire to topple the current world order. Basically, United States don't trust China anymore. It's viewed China as strategic competitor because of industrial and economic might. During Donald Trump presidency, the relationship between these superpower reached the nadir and still in downward trajectory until now. United States keep piling pressure on China from economic sanctions or trade barrier until the dangerous provocation that related to Taiwan issue. From China perception, U.S. already planning to have showdown with China since George Bush Jr. era, but the 9/11 issue foiled the plan. With the stunning performance of 2008 Beijing Olympic, it showcased the world of the China advancement in economic, technology, management, and the confident. China is not reaching the level of developed country income yet, however it's possessed such immense power and in some aspect already surpassed the U.S. It's a formidable challenge to U.S. global leadership. To make things worse, since the financial crisis in 2008 that triggered by subprime mortgage crisis in U.S., China don't look the U.S. development model worth to emulate anymore. China is believing that his development model superior than the U.S. model. It start to propagate China Dream slogan and enact BRI Belt and Road Initiative, sometime called New Silk Road. The BRI main goal is to create new economic bloc with China as the leader. It's easy to hear slogan 21st century is China century and United States is declining force in China. And finally, during the Donald Trump presidency, the squeeze of China is getting big traction. China threat is become one of rare issue that Democrat and Republican Party have the common view. Trump is the first president to start the economic war against China. And so far both of countries suffer some damage with U.S. plunge to high inflation cycle and China facing property crisis, which is most serious economic crisis since opening up. However, the manufacturing prowess of China industry is not decline and even with decouple campaign by the U.S. it has only caused the declining export to developed countries, China even pivoting to Industry 4.0 revolution with full speed. China is still the world factory with gross production output of 35%, followed by U.S. with 12% in 2023. China is still the world's sole manufacturing superpower, which can outproduce any country almost in every industry sector except some high-tech area that's still dominated by the West. China is embarking modernizing of his military with the target to become fully modernized and capable fighting force in 2049. Regularly increased the defense budget since 1992 and finally reached $298 billion in 2023. It's 1.6% of GDP, second only to United States. The U.S. feel threatened by China and trying to slow or even stop the China advancement in technology, industry, trade, and even try to stirring up tension in South China Sea and Taiwan issue in hope of China trapping conflict with his neighbors. The last endeavor is such dangerous act that could lead to direct war between China and U.S. Against this backdrop, Ukraine war erupted. China couldn't let Russia lose the war because that means the US and the Allies will concentrate their power against China as the next target. China view her relationship with Russia is like lips and teeth. If the lips gone, the teeth will feel the cold. China feel threatened and surprised by US reckless act that even kill the goose that lay golden egg relationship, like limiting and blocking the sales of multiple type of chips or services to China. China is the world's largest chips importer, one of rare sector that US has surplus over China. China will someday develop her own technology to break free from US hassle, just like the space-related program show. China never joined the West to condemn Russia triggered the Ukraine war. Instead, the trade relationship between China and Russia is skyrocketing and reached the record-breaking of $227 billion in 2023. Russia imports many products from China, including the dual-use component that can be used for military purpose, from chips, electronics, engines, trucks, etc. China already adhere the U.S. red line about not supplying military equipment to Russia, but it's look like the U.S. is expanding his scope to include the dual-use components by his own standard. However, China will reject U.S. demands since it will negatively affect the Russia survival, and beside that demand is means stop trade with Russia. The U.S. and the Allies literally start to blame China for their own failure in Ukraine war. China don't have other choice other than bite the bullet. It will double down the cooperation with Russia in every sector to offset the loss. Russia is a formidable enemy with proud history and claim as inheritor of the most powerful empire of the world, Roman and Mongol Empire. This is one of the reasons why Russia is the largest country by land. Basically, US is cornering to powerful countries simultaneously and make them united to overcome the common threat. Could this be the same mistake made by Nazi that lead to his dismiss by making the powerful countries as enemy at the same time? The U.S. foreign policy are really in disarray, with irrational policy that rely too much on military power that lead to his own defeat in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and even the Niger dare to oust U.S. troops from his territory. Without identifying and rectifying the root cause of those failure, it's embark new conflict against to powerful countries simultaneously. Recently, many U.S. tycoon bought large tract of land and island in Hawaii to build villa with bunker facility, completely with their food production facility. Maybe they are preparing the worst case scenario, or maybe they have insight of the situation the U.S. heading off. Thank you for watching. See you in next video.